guys, what's going on? I am CM Zaria.
And I am CM Worthen.
And we are going to show off the rest of the Blackrock Mountain cards today here on stream. So I hope you guys are really excited. We're excited to play a couple new decks that contain cards that you guys have never seen before. So I hope you guys are psyched, but we're actually going to jump right into it. We've got two decks that we're going to feature today. We're going to feature Paladin, which has a little bit of dragon flavor to it, and we're also going to feature a very cool Shaman deck.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be playing today against one of the Game Balance Design members, D. Nyala, otherwise known as Ixar. He's going to be playing a very interesting and fun warrior deck that people probably won't see coming. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump in with Justice Demands Dragons.
This is going to be great.
No, it's I think you undersold it a little. There's a little bit more than a little bit of dragons. This deck is actually pretty full of dragons.
So what can we expect from Dean's deck?
So Dean's deck is using Grim Patrons, Warsong Commander, a lot of combo-y stuff. It's going to be fun. Axe Swingers kind of deal. Once it gets rolling, it actually does a ton of damage in a couple of short turns. So.
Uther
versus let him get
Geralt!
Axe Swingers out.
Victory
we'll definitely try not to.
I will
we actually
fight
have
with honor.
The new Paladin cards for BRN, Solemn Vigil, which we'll get into a little bit more. But looking at the mulligan here, no, sorry, we actually have two. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drop Dragon Consort for now and Solemn Vigil, and we'll talk about them a little bit more later. But Blackwing Technician is a very good opening card to have in your Paladin Dragon deck because it's a 3-drop, and if you have a dragon, which you probably will, obviously it comes out as a 3/5 for 3. So.
Yeah, absolute value.
All right, we'll go ahead and keep it. Let's see what we get. All right, we have Alder Peacekeeper and Chromagus, which is another new card we'll be discussing here. Chromagus, obviously not super good in the beginning of the game, but he has value later on.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so we have Alder Peacekeeper in case he drops some big threats, which his deck doesn't really drop the bigger threats until later. Okay, so we have Blackwing Corruptor, which is going to totally work off of Chromagus. Chromagus is a dragon-type minion.
And we have gotten the suggestions.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, let's go in here.
Code concede.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and turn down the music a little bit, and hopefully that'll work. So we've made a 1/1 Paladin player. Okay, he's going to go ahead and use Fiery War Axe, and this moves over hand with Okay, so we have a Hungry Dragon here. So we actually have a really, really good early curve here for this deck. So Blackwing Technician, you can see, has got the yellow border, which lets you know that you have a dragon-type minion, so its special ability is going to activate. So we'll go ahead and drop it down.
My rep is paramount. Leave me alone.
Yeah, if he tries to take that out with Fiery War Axe, he's just going to take 3 damage to the face.
Okay. Let's try to make sure the game sense.
Let's just put it halfway down.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so he's gone ahead and he's used Death's Bite on this, so basically we're in a situation now where kind of no matter what I put down for the most part, he's going to be able to instantly get rid of it and then also get rid of this thing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play Hungry Dragon.
So what kind of 1-cost minion do we actually want him to get?
We want to get something on the board right now that actually has 1 health, so that when he goes to swing the Death's Bite, he just takes it out.
All right.
So Hungry Dragon is also going to actually be able to withstand Death's Bite since it has 6 health. So this is a really, really good play here, assuming we get a 1-health minion. So we're going to play him down, see what happens. What do we get? Hungry Dragon game. Okay.
All right, so that's pretty safe.
Ixar has gotten a Grimscale Oracle, which not a lot of Murloc synergy in his deck, so
yeah,
not super concerned about that. And we'll just go ahead and Job's done. I have a feeling that Axe is going to take care of our Murloc problems. So now, if you play something down on the next turn, oh wow, yeah, that's so, yeah, obviously he could just sacrifice the Murloc into that. Okay, so we have Blackwing Corruptor, which is going to be really just the perfect answer to this scenario.
Absolutely.
As we see here, Core Chrono Elite has 3 health. Blackwing Corruptor is just going to go ahead and very easily deal with it. So you see the strength of the dragon decks, like the synergy, make it to where really come like turn 4 or 5, you just have these big plays that allow you to kind of get on the board. So while you don't necessarily have something on like turn 1 or 2, you generally have some really strong plays going forward. He's already at 13. So.
Yes, and he's actually playing a very aggressive warrior deck as well, so we also need to be mindful of that.
Right.
Now, tell me about the synergies between cards like Volcanic Drake, Solemn Vigil.
Right, so Volcanic Drake is obviously a minion that costs 1 less for each minion that dies on that specific turn. So if you play down something like Muster for Battle, and he gets rid of all the recruits on, or if you trade all the recruits in on your turn, then you can actually get a far cheaper Volcanic Drake. So obviously a 6 mana for a 6/4 isn't super appealing, but once it gets down to the range of about 3 mana, then a 3 mana for a 6/4 is obviously really good. Unfortunately, we don't have a super efficient play here because he's got Death Bite. And actually anything we put down is going to just go ahead and
die a terrible
painful death. So at the same time, we need him to get rid of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the Blackwing Technician, which is going to have 5 health. It's going to do 3 damage. And on the off chance he decides not to swing or he just wants to hold for long, I'm going to go ahead and put down the Silverhand Recruit. So we'll see.
Goodbye, brave dude. We knew you well.
Silverhand Recruit gets bullied a lot by this warrior deck, unfortunately. He
does, and we actually we don't have a Quartermaster in this deck either, but you guys can see on the side the full deck. Now it starts to get a little troublesome.
So he's going to get we'll give him a well-met back. I can only assume he's being super friendly. So we're in an interesting spot now. Grim Patron, if you can't just fully get it off the board in one blow, just keeps making Grim Patrons.
Yep.
So
and that is definitely going to be trouble for us.
Right. So as you can see, we are not in a great position to deal with this. So what we'll probably end up doing here is actually just putting down the Volcanic Drake at full cost. And the reason why is because in order to get rid of it for what we see on the board, he would have to trade both in, and that would kill them. He can probably do 1 damage in his hand, but we're going to go ahead and just hope he can. So we're going to put down this poor Volcanic Drake, who is probably about to get, he's about to get really rambunctious with these dwarves.
Now he's used Bolt of Death Bite already?
Yeah, he has no Death Bite, but he has a Whirlwind. Oh gosh.
All right, so
it's
here
starting.
comes the fun.
It's starting.
Okay. Unstable Duel, no.
Oh no.
Please.
No. No.
Why are there so many patrons?
Yeah, this board is now, it's getting to an interesting place. He's going to draw a bunch of cards now because of all the injured Grim Patrons.
Oh, Warsong Commander.
Yeah, Warsong Commander is being really problematic right now. Okay, so yeah, obviously a little bit of a rough spot here. Hope we draw Consecration. Oh, there we go.
Okay, that's pretty
Unfortunately, this actually isn't even that good.
No.
Mostly because if we
we're just
Consecrate,
gonna kill those 2, and the other ones are just gonna make 2 more.
Right. So we can go ahead and look through here. I don't think there's a super good play to get us out of this. I think what we're gonna do is just play down Chromagus, just to play down Chromagus. Chromagus, save us. No, I don't think Chromagus is actually going to save us here. Obviously, there's no taunt on him. He doesn't just get rid of everything on the board.
Nope.
If I had an equality, this would be a little bit of a different play. There's no way we can do 10 damage to him. So
now, do you want to try and maybe Solemn Vigil and see if we get an equality for next turn?
Solemn Vigil draws 2 cards for 5 mana, and like Volcanic Drake, costs 1 less for a minion that died on that turn. Unfortunately, 5 mana. We're only going to have 3 mana left, and we're not going to be able to do a whole lot. So. Oh, Chromagus.
Oh, Chromagus.
Okay. Being told to turn down the game sound a little bit more.
More Master Volume all the way down.
No Master Volume. So, as you can see here, he's played the other Unstable Ghoul. He's got more patrons yet, so.
There are so many patrons. The tavern is full. The tavern is full.
You'll actually notice this becomes an issue. The tavern actually very rapidly gets full when Grim Patron is on the board. So, plus side, he can't make any more. Let's look at the positives here.
Is that a positive?
Well, I like to look for the positives in these situations. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw more cards. As you guys can see, Aggro Warrior's in a pretty good spot here. It's very aggressive.
Yes, I mean, not only does he have card advantage, he has a full board of patrons. You cannot attack each other, so please.
Okay, Axe Slinger. Now this is Battle. Oh no. Oh no. This is
Are you inner raging all of your? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the end for us, as I figured it might be. So when Grim Patron comes down, though, you really have to deal with it. Like Grim Patron needs to get off the board, and Paladin, unfortunately, doesn't have great answers there. So we'll go ahead and look at the Paladin deck. Obviously, Xar did a great job of pulling us pretty quickly there. So we'll go ahead and pull up the collection manager and look at what this deck had. Okay.
And they can also see it on the side too.
Right.
But
so
go crazy.
Yeah. So what we have here is early on in the game, there's not too many surprises. Equality is just kind of a great card for making sure the Paladin if they need to, can hit the emergency button and just kind of clear board. Shielded Minibot is just a great card for dealing with really quick starts. It deals pretty well with more aggressive decks because it has the Divine Shield and can usually trade 2 for 1. Muster for Battle kind of has 2 purposes in this deck. Muster for Battle is a very strong card on its own because you just have the ability to put 3 tokens down. But the fact that you can trade them in for stuff like Solemn Vigil and Volcanic Drake to make them less expensive means that early on you're getting good pressure if you play it, but then you can also kind of use it to trade up into something a little bit stronger. Alder Peacekeeper is another Paladin staple. It's just one of those great cards that make sure that if they play something big, since Paladin doesn't have like an Assassinate or a Hex or a Polymorph, just means you can just really quickly get rid of, or not necessarily get rid of, but make a threat a lot less threatening, I guess. Blackwing Technician, obviously a new Blackrock Mountain card. We kind of showed it off there. It can be really strong, a 3-drop, a 3 for 5, if you're holding a dragon. And to be honest, if you're playing it, you probably are holding a dragon because you're probably playing a dragon deck. And as you can see real quickly at the bottom here, we have a lot of expensive dragons. So a lot of these times you draw these dragons and they just kind of hang out in your hand and activate stuff like Blackwing Technician or Blackwing Corruptor. So going down, just more Paladin staples, True Silver Champion, Consecration. Defender of Argus is really good, obviously, with stuff like Muster for Battle to just make a little bit of a more reinforced board. Hungry Dragon we showed off. So Hungry Dragon, very, very strong as 4-drop. It's a 5/6. It summons a 1-cost. As we saw against Dean, you know, Ixar did a really, really great job of making sure that he used that Grimskill Oracle.
He used it to full advantage.
Yeah, he definitely did a good job dealing with that. But usually what you want to try to do is make sure they get something smaller. Hungry Dragon can create problems if you use it. Stuff like, you know, Zombie Chow coming out. Zombie Chow is obviously one of those really, really strong 1-drops. Worgen Infiltrator is another one that can be kind of problematic because you can just sit on the board. So Hungry Dragon is not without drawbacks, but that said, as a 4-mana 5/6 dragon, it's obviously capable of being really strong.
Absolutely.
So Solemn Vigil is one of the new Paladin cards for BRM I mentioned earlier. It's draw 2 cards for 5 mana with the kind of caveat that it costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. So we talked a little bit earlier about how Muster for Battle can be extremely useful with this, but it creates a lot of interesting play scenarios. I've played this card quite a few times now, but basically you're in situations where, do you want to trade minions to get the cheaper card draw? It's really, really good if you basically trade 4 minions, like 2 of your minions into 2 of theirs, because it becomes a 1-mana draw 2 cards, which, Arcane Intellect, which is kind of like the Mage staple for card draw, is 3 mana for 2. This can be a 1 mana for 2 for Paladin, so it can be really, really good. Later in the game, if you're trying to just win the game through damage, you're obviously not going to necessarily want to trade, so you might just be tempted to pay 5 mana for 2 cards. It's extremely versatile, and it gives Paladin a little bit more of a consistent card draw, which is nice because a lot of Paladin's card draw is obviously...
That's not something they've typically had, like
right.
outside of Divine Favor.
Right, Divine Favor, obviously, you need to be playing against someone who has like, at least 3 to 4 cards to really make it worth your while. You have to be down on hand to kind of get it to work. Obviously, lay on hands is super strong, but that's really late in the game.
Right.
A lot of times, and you give up a lot of your turn to do it. So yeah, Solemn Vigil is a really versatile card draw spell that is really, really good for Paladin. I think you guys are going to enjoy. Going now, Blackwing Corruptor. Obviously, we kind of showed the power of that. It's kind of obviously most similar to the Shaman minion Fire Elemental. Obviously, you have to have a dragon in hand, and we've talked, it's not that that's uncommon, so Blackwing Corruptor can be really strong, and it can allow you on turn 5 to kind of take control of the board if they have something with 3 health on it, which is super nice. It's obviously very powerful. We used it to deal with Kor'kron Elite, which brings us to Dragon Consort, which is the second new Paladin card for BRM. It is a 5/5 dragon for 5 that makes the next dragon you play cost 2 less. Obviously, there are a lot of expensive dragons. There are some 8, 9, and 10 mana dragons. And from personal experience, Dragon Consort is so much fun. You play down Dragon Consort on turn 6, or I have in the past, even though it's 5 mana. And then next turn, I played Ysera.
That is amazing.
A 7 mana Ysera is one of those things where if your opponent doesn't get it off the board, it's obviously just incredibly strong. You start drawing a bunch of cards, and most of Ysera's cards are just extremely high impact. I've also done stuff where I've played turn 10 Malagos and used the coin to activate a 7 damage Consecration. Just experimenting with it. It's super fun to just be able to play with dragons a little bit quicker than you obviously would.
And with the Dragon Consort as well, it's not just that turn, so it's just whatever next dragon you play. So all the dragons in your hand will actually appear as if they have 2 less mana until you play one.
Right.
So maybe you can use it on a fairy dragon, or you could use it on the Azure Drake.
Right. There's just a ton of ways to use the card, and it was actually kind of funny earlier on when we were playing with this card, you'd play it down and then people would just kind of forget that, oh, you could just have a cheap dragon, and then you'd play big combos involving dragons. So Dragon Consort, again, 5/5 for 5 that does what it does. great card, ton of fun to use. It's also, Volcanic Drake has a lot of very obvious synergy with it. If you have stuff like your, tokens for Muster for Battle on the board, and then you play down Dragon Consort, and the next turn can get like a 1 or even free, 1 mana free or free Volcanic Drake.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get a really strong board. Going down Guardian of Kings is just a very solid card for health. It's big. That's a theme with a lot of the minions here. They're very big. Rend Blackhand against other, obviously other dragon decks is super good.
And we're probably always going to be holding a dragon in this deck.
Right, so Rend Blackhand takes out a lot of minions. He actually, what I found is he deals really well with stuff like Ysera, which I mentioned earlier, which only has 4 attack and is traditionally pretty tough to get off the board. Stuff like that, stuff like
and
Malygos.
as well.
Yep. So, and then Chromaggus. So,
I mean, he's just fun.
Chromaggus is a lot of fun. And he's actually at 6 attack. He dodges Big Game Hunter pretty well, which is one of those cards that, traditionally when you want to play the big, but maybe Big Game Hunter will be there. Chromaggus comes down and he just sits there and draws you a bunch of cards.
Exactly, and like combining that with Solemn Vigil, whenever you draw a card, like each instance of when you draw a card, you actually get another copy of that card. So, I mean, Chromaggus, and maybe you have a Divine Favor in play, or
right.
You're playing Solemn Vigil, you're just going to get a ridiculous amount of cards.
It's actually super, super easy to overfill your hand with Chromaggus, as I have found from experience through just normal card draw, like when you start drawing 2 True Silver Champions a turn, and then Solemn Vigil.
Yeah, that's crazy. At that point, you have Uther, and he's just dual-wielding 2 Silver Champions.
It's a lot of value. It's a lot of value is what it is.
And then we have Nefarian.
Nefarian is another one of those cards. So he's obviously 8/8 for 9. He's a big dragon. He's a lot of fun. I'm not sure how else to put it, but like playing as Uther and playing down Nefarian and then against a Mage and getting like Flame Strike and Unstable Portal. As Uther, it's just a bunch of fun. Flame Striking my opponent's board the turn after playing Nefarian was so much fun in the time I did it.
Maybe you could get Uther and get 2 Pyroblasts.
That is totally possible. And an important note about this card, this draws from an entire, like if you're playing a Mage, this can draw any Mage spell. It doesn't matter what your opponent is running, it can draw any of their spells, any of their class spells, and it can draw 2 of them, as Christina pointed out. So you could just draw 2 Pyroblasts.
Yeah, it could be 2 different spells, or it could be 2 of the same.
Right. Which brings us to Deathwing. Deathwing, obviously, he's pretty strong, 12/12.
Yep, and he's going to sit in your hand for a while until, maybe you want to drop him at the end. And
just break everything? Like, if you're just like, oh, you want to just get rid of everything? Like, Deathwing will do it.
Yeah, Deathwing will do it.
Okay, so that's the Paladin deck, Justice demands dragons. I don't know who Justin is, but he demands dragons.
Does he really want dragons?
Who does? Justice demands dragons, right here. So we'll go ahead and move on to the Shaman deck.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's go ahead and see if Ixar is ready to fight. Yeah, no, the Shaman deck runs a little bit different. It also has dragons in it, but it's got a pretty, wow. Ixar.
Why would you do that?
Ixar, why? So we're gonna wait for Ixar to accept our challenge and not decline our challenge over and over. I don't even know what's going on right now.
Well, let's give him a second to prepare.
Okay, if he declines again, we'll. Oh, here we go. He's ready now.
There we go.
Okay, so this deck, like I said, has dragons in it. It also has a lot of direct damage. It has Malygos in it.
Yep. So you can see on the side there, we've got Lightning Bolt, Crackle, Lava Shock, which is going to be great using combining that with things like Earth Elemental. And then we have another couple cards that we haven't actually revealed yet.
Right. So Dean is mixing it up. He's bringing out the Mage deck, which I have not seen as of yet. So this is going to be very interesting.
I have no idea what is in this deck.
So what we have here is a pretty solid opening hand. We have good early removal. So if he plays something down, we can get rid of it. We have Blackwing Technician into Hungry Dragon. So we have a pretty good early hand here. I think we want to keep it. So some stuff to know about this deck is Shaman, is one of those cards or one of those classes that has access to just a lot of big elementals, like super powerful elementals. And this deck kind of makes use of it with one of the new cards we're going to reveal. And then also
Fire Guard Destroyer.
Right, and then also Earth Elemental, which is one of those cards that you haven't seen around too much lately, but I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah, once we actually get Lava Shock and we can get rid of the overload downside to Earth Elemental. It's actually very, very useful in this deck.
Okay, so we got an Unstable Portal there, and he got he got an Amani Berserker. So that's actually for us, we're pretty okay with it. So turn 3, Blackwing Technician.
Yeah.
We have a pretty solid hand here for just early game presence. So So if he doesn't have something like a Flame Strike or just something to clear the board, he's probably going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Now, we could have also used the Lightning Bolt and taken him out there, because he's probably going
Right.
to end up pinging the Amani Berserker and taking out our Blackwing tech.
That is definitely something he's, you know.
My work is
Thing is, okay, so
Okay, but he's also holding a dragon.
So, Dragon Mage, interesting. Like I said, I haven't seen quite yet what he's going to do with this. So, if he had pinged the Amani Berserker there, he would have definitely gotten rid of this, but he would have also given up his turn for the most part because he would have only had 1 mana to use. He actually did a better turn in my opinion, because what we're probably going to do is go ahead and just trade into this and play down Hungry Dragon.
Okay.
So before we do that, we should play Hungry Dragon though, just to see what happens, to make sure we don't. Hopefully he doesn't get Gold Shard Footman out. Gold Shard Footman would actually be a real thorn in our sides.
Gold Shard.
So we'll play Hungry Dragon down.
You shall not.
And a
No!
shield there. That is the opposite
Wow.
of also what we wanted.
So as you can see, Hungry Dragon, Hungry Dragon, you know, can sometimes not always be your friend.
As we have seen in the past game.
Right. So we have Lightning Storm here, so we're okay if he decides to play a bunch of minions. Otherwise, we have some big stuff on the board, and he could just Fireball to get rid of the Hungry Dragon, but that would probably be the play I'm most afraid of right now. Because he
Just
has
a straight up fireball to the Hungry Dragon.
Oh yeah, so this is also, he's gonna go ahead and do that play you thought of earlier. So, I'm going to do that, okay. And then, we'll see what he does here. Frostbolt, okay. So I'm actually, this play is not super upsetting me. This is a reasonable play. Okay, so we have Alexstrasza here. So we have a bunch of different options here. I, in no universe, want to use this Lightning Bolt on this. No. So I think what we'll probably do here is just put down a Zerdrake. And this way, if he does put down a bunch of minions, we have the boosted Lightning Storm. We'll also draw a card. Hopefully... Okay, so we have 2 Lightning Storms right now, so we can actually go ahead and just put a bunch of stuff on the board, and it's not super menacing. So we still have these really, really solid cards in here. Flame Waker.
Ah.
This is one of the new Mage spells. Okay, so he's gonna...
So he's going to start waking the flames.
Yeah. Actually cast Spell, deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies. So, okay. That actually worked out pretty decently for us. So, okay. We have options here.
We do. What do you think of doing the Lightning Storm here?
We could Lightning Storm. The Lightning Storm here does have a chance to just, you know, out and out get rid of this. We would be overloaded. What I think is a pretty okay play is Lightning Storm. Hope we roll a 4 on this. And then regardless, we're going to have to trade into that. This thing will still have 1 health. So the Zerdrake will have to be pinged, which will cost him 2 mana, which will slow down his turn. And then we can also just play down the Blackwing Technician, which gives us another solid body on board. First things first, though, let's see what happens with the Lightning Storm. 4. Yay! Got him. Okay. Put that down, and we'll go ahead and Blackwing Technician here. And so this is pretty good. We're going to be overloaded, so we're going to have a smaller turn next turn, but we still have a second Lightning Storm in case he
And
just
we also
plays.
have 2 Lava Shocks in this deck.
We do. Hopefully we can run into those pretty soon and start using those. Okay, so Blackwing Corruptor, that's a super solid play. Luckily, we've actually got a pretty good answer to that.
Oh, look, and it's his slightly bigger and more menacing elemental brother.
The answer to this, by the way, that I was talking about is rolling and hoping for Spell Power Totem and Lightning Bolt. So it's not actually a super good play. That said, what happens is if we don't get rid of this, he's going to put the Blackwing Corruptor into the Blackwing Technician.
Yep.
Which means he's going to have a 1 health minion left over. And we don't have a super good answer to that, so...
You gonna try for the Spell Power Totem?
Ooh.
Do it.
All right, we're doing it.
Do it.
We're gonna go for it. Spell Power Totem.
Spell Power.
Spell Power. That's not Spell Power. And unfortunately, this is gonna leave us in kind of a weak spot. I could do the Lightning Storm to play this, but instead I'm just gonna go face. And then hopefully what'll happen here is he'll trade into this, have that 1 health Blackwing Corruptor up, and we'll have some other minions come down to make the Lightning Storm kind of more worth it. That said, plays on a legendary. We got Ren Black Hand.
We do have it with Rend.
We do have a Ren Black Hand. Oh, so this is
why don't you mouse over that so everybody can see it?
So this right here is Emperor Tharasan. He is a Dark Iron Dwarf, Lord of the Blackrock Depths. Ultimately, still kind of managed by Ragnaros, but he's he's an emperor.
Yeah, but at the end of your turn, he's going to reduce all the cost of cards in your hand by 1.
which is particularly scary against a mage.
Yes, because we don't want 3 mana, 2 mana, 1 mana.
Right.
No mana.
No mana. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to rend this Emperor. Sorry, so just, you know, just. Yeah.
My magic will tear
I
you
thank
apart.
you. And then we'll go ahead and end turn. So this isn't super hard for him to get off the board. Frostbolt and Ping will probably get rid of it. But Ren did work, and honestly, if he can't get rid of him, then, you know, a really good spot. We're not overloaded next turn, so we have a bunch of plays here. We could actually start looking at trying to string together maybe Alexstrasza, Lightning Bolt Crackles, hope to possibly get Malagos down. So
yeah, and I mean, unless he's going to be spending like a fireball on Rend there.
Safety
the
restrictions.
Foe Reaper, okay.
online.
So he's gonna go ahead and keep.
Engaged.
Okay, so we have a Lava Shock now.
A little too late on the Lava Shock, but
Lava
that's something
Shock.
we can keep in mind.
Yeah. So we'll I want to go ahead and think here. This is kind of a complicated turn, I think. So I think the best play here is we go ahead and Alexstrasza him and bring him down to 15.
You like to live dangerously.
No, this will be okay. Trust me. We'll Alexstrasza and then we'll hit him in the face, and then we'll totally get a spell power totem next turn and just use our spells.
You know, our rolls on the spell power totem have been
It's gonna
0 for 1.
It's gonna work this time. I promise. It's a good plan.
I'll put my faith in the light.
And put your faith in this dragon.
All right.
So yeah,
I bring life.
we're gonna hit him very hard. So obviously we have some big stuff on the board here, and unless he heals, he's actually just dead. So because we have enough, we have 10 mana, so we can Fire Elemental, we can Lightning Bolt, we can Crackle. We just
we do have a lot of options here.
that Foe Reaper's like I don't. I'm smaller than everyone here. This is unusual. So Foe Reaper is really strong against a bunch of smaller minions because you know.
Yeah, but when you're facing down Ren, Blackhand, and Alexstrasza,
That's a pretty good one too. I mean, I would form a team off of these two. They're pretty strong. So I'm pretty sure he's wondering
what to do.
Well, how he wants to lose. You know.
Gracefully. He should lose gracefully.
Yeah.
I bring life.
Okay. So that is.
You can have your own Alexstrasza.
I'm definitely pretty sad he has an Alexstrasza. Did not want this to happen. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we are way ahead of him in card advantage. We are going to be dignified. We're not going to be sad. We just lost our win condition. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and Fire Elemental the Foe Reaper.
Okay.
And then we'll probably just play down Hungry Dragon. So we're gonna have a big board, and he's gonna have a 1-drop.
Okay, but are you going to attack first so we don't run into the
Actually,
shield
we should
block?
check. We might just have lethal here. I might be wrong here. So let's see. So yeah, we have lethal. I'm. Yeah.
Don't play with Alexstrasza. No, don't do that.
Okay, so and do this, and we're gonna give him the well played.
Because
You know what? Let's use Lava Shock. So deal
Sure.
2 damage. We're gonna unlock our
Unlock
mana
it.
crystal.
All
So
right.
just gonna. Lava Shock. All right.
we did it. We ended with no
Yeah.
overloaded mana crystals.
We call it lethal. I'm sure chat's like lethal.
Yeah,
lethal.
and we're probably like, oh my goodness.
Okay, so let's go down and look at this deck a little bit more. We actually did not get a chance to play one of the new Shaman cards, which we'll go right to it, is Fireguard Destroyer. So yeah, Fireguard Destroyer, 4 mana for, at the bare minimum, of 4/6. So that's huge. We're talking like a Water Elemental stats, but bigger. Like if you ever want to deal with a bigger Water Elemental, now you can.
Yep, that's super dangerous. Now, there's good and downsides to it as well, because
Right.
he could come out as a 7/6 for 4, and he could just take the first big game hunter straight to the fiery face.
If he soaks up the big game hunter, you're probably not at, like, you'd lose tempo, which would be unfortunate because then you'd still be overloaded for 1 mana on turn 5. But you're probably pretty okay, especially considering, like, in this deck, we had like Earth Elementals, we had Alexstrasza's, Rend, like we had a bunch of stuff that big game hunter would have had for good targets. Fireguard Destroyer, now, I personally think the best thing you can get is a 6/6 here. 6/6, and you're overloaded for 5. Now keep in mind, being locked out of your turn 5 is actually pretty strong. Is going to be pretty strong with BRM because you're going to have, Blackwing Corruptor on turn 5. You'd have stuff like Earth Elemental. So it's actually, not super great to be locked out of your turn 5. But again, you get a very strong turn 4 minion.
And that's what the Lava Shocks are there for, too.
Right. So Lava Shock, we didn't really get a chance to showcase it there, but if you saw at the end, when we actually used it to finish off Ixar, it unlocked that mana crystal that we had went ahead and locked up because we used Lightning Bolt. So it unlocks it on the turn you cast it, and then the turn after you would still not have any locked up mana crystals. So it's a super good way of playing stuff like Earth Elemental, which overloads for 3. Obviously, stuff like that to pretty much just free up your mana. It becomes a lot better kind of as the game goes on because, you know, obviously when you get to turn 10, you play a bunch of spells and say you have like 5 mana crystals overloaded, then you can just play Lava Shock and it's just like it didn't happen.
Absolutely. Now we're going to play actually another match with one of the 2 decks, but why don't we bring up chat here? Okay. And we'll see what deck do you guys want us to play again. We can play Here There Be Shamans, or we can play the Paladin deck again. Let's see what you guys think.
Okay. I think they want us to play a deck called Lel. What? Do we have a Lel deck? I don't think we do. Let's see.
Mage, Rogue, no, those are not options.
Okay, there's a bunch of classes.
Priest.
Priest.
We're not making new decks. It's
No,
Paladin or Shaman.
Paladin
those
or
are the
Shaman.
choices.
Okay, we're seeing a lot of Paladin here, and I'm obviously a little biased. I love Paladin, so that's what it is.
I think we're seeing a lot of the Paladins.
Okay, we'll go ahead and.
Shall we redeem ourselves?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and redeem ourselves. Play Paladin. Okay. Hopefully Dean is down to play another game with us. Dean. Well, yeah. So, in a perfect world, if we're going to, if he's going to play his warrior deck again, we really have to hope we get like shielded minibot in the beginning and just stuff to soak up those axe hits, because obviously that's what really messed us up the first time.
Yeah, we really need to also be digging for Equality Consecrate. Because once those Grim Patrons get out of control, like
that was pretty much game. We just didn't. You know, they showed up at our bar. They were like, hey.
we told them to follow the rules, but then they're like, I don't know. There's like 7 of us.
I'm a Dark Iron Dwarf. Following the rules is my thing. Yeah. Okay, so we have here pretty. You know, Blackwing Technician is definitely something we want. We don't have a dragon in this opening hand, so we're gonna try to fish for an expensive dragon. Things you never say.
So are you gonna get rid of, let's say, the Defender of Argus and keep the Blackwing Corruptor?
We're playing the Mage deck, so I don't know. I think we can probably afford to be a little bit greedier in our mulligan. So I'm gonna play greedy.
All right.
And hopefully we'll get a dragon here to supplement this Blackwing Technician. Yeah. So we do have the dragon,
and we do have Equality, so it makes me feel a little bit better.
Well, he's playing Mage deck, so we won't have to deal with a whole bunch of rowdy.
I don't know. He's still got dragons in there.
Hopefully he's not so salty about that. All right, so we'll go ahead and pass turn. So this is kind of actually amazing. Is next turn we can coin Blackwing Technician into turn 3 Blackwing Technician.
Sounds fantastic.
There's gonna be a lot of technicians working here. It's gonna be a lot of tech support in Blackrock now. All right, so okay, this is Mad Scientist. So this kind of hints that you know, he's rolling around with some secrets. So we'll go ahead and, as we talked about, coin out the first Blackwing Technician. And 3/5 is obviously bigger than 2/2. That's just math. So we'll
pretty solid.
It is math. So we'll see, you know, what Dean feels like doing about this. Okay, so Dean's gonna play his own Blackwing Technician, and then he has to decide now if he wants the secret up, or because if he puts the Mad Scientist into my Blackwing Technician, then my Blackwing Technician is obviously 3/3, and then you know, this is one of those things where.
Now, I still have no idea what is happening in this deck, so I don't know if the secret's going to be duplicate. If it's
yeah,
we
didn't see
like
any
we
of
can
them.
try playing around it, but I mean, if we play the Blackwing Technician as is, he's going to get a 2/4 if it's mirror entity.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and figure out. We'll try swinging his face first.
Okay.
See. Okay, so it's probably duplicate or mirror entity. So let's see here.
Neither.
Well, no, it could be duplicates.
No, so it could be duplicate.
It's not mirror entity though. Unfortunately, our hand is if he leaves everything on the board, our hand is fine because we're Defender of Argus. Yeah, so we'll see what he decides to do. Flame Waker. Okay, that card again. So what we're gonna do here is we can Defender of Argus to give this thing 4 attack. So it'll be a 4/6, and then we can get rid of the Flame Waker.
Yeah, I think we really need to do that.
We don't want that Flame Waker just doing a bunch of stuff.
No.
No, Flame Waker, stop doing things.
Actually,
So,
can you be Flame Sleeper?
just Flame Napper, just, you know, okay.
Calm down.
Louder. We gotta stop
Right,
this.
so it did end being duplicate.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
which is
so,
be because now there will be double the amount of flames awoken.
So many flames awake. We never asked for this many flames. Alright, so see if he pings there and probably plays another Flame Waker.
Flamewaker. That's also super dangerous because if he gets a ton of Flamewakers on the board, this damage is going to be thrown around like crazy.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think kind of our best play is probably Hungry Dragon here. I don't really want to make
Hungry Dragon the past couple times has
Yeah.
not been our best play. But let's see if we get a third Shield Bearer.
This is actually interesting now, the dynamic of Hungry Dragon. It's a lot like Paladin Shredder. What are you playing around? You know, are you playing around the Mana Wraith? Are you playing around the Doomsayer? Like, am I playing around the Goldshire Footman? Am I playing around the Shield Bearer? Let's go ahead and put down this Hungry Dragon. See what happens.
Playing around.
Wow, so
That's also a very unfortunate.
we're gonna need a little justice to distribution. And yeah, so you know, Hungry Dragon so far not super friendly to us.
We've been getting some unfavorable minions to munch on.
This Hungry Dragon's been chasing some really dangerous game. Okay, so I think he's going to get more Flamemakers. Oh no, the heat is on. The heat is on. Exactly. I knew what I was doing. Okay, so basically we're in a situation now where we're, regardless of whatever plays made more sense, we're going to play Dragon Consort, and then next turn we're going to play Nefarian.
Great.
All right.
Regardless of whatever is happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were better play.
Mirror Entity.
Okay, so...
And he doesn't get the battle cry.
So...
Which is great.
His dragons will not be cheaper. So
Do you think leaving both Flamewakers up is safe?
it is a tough call, but it's one of those things where I would rather just get the 5/5 off the board.
It's true, and at least we played the Dragon Consort so we can get Nefarian out. He doesn't get the reduced mana cost on the next dragons, and we got rid of Mirror Entity, so...
Right.
Nefarian?
Nefarian. Nefarian, one of the new cards that has one of the, frankly, probably the best animation. I really like this animation.
Yeah, let's see it.
So we'll go ahead and play Nefarian. Oh, hey, look, there's a dragon.
Yeah, like... There it is.
Oh! Oh! Flame Strike in the Echo of a Excellent.
Sounds great.
Where do I sign? Okay, so...
So we're gonna wake some flames of our own.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we're
Uther.
about to bring some justice down on this board. Hopefully he'll play some more minions. So obviously, these play really well. Hopefully he's like, you know what, I'm not trading into this Nefarian. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna try to take him out. Hopefully that's what he does, and then we can punish him. Now, he'll probably just ping the Dragon Consort.
Yeah, that seems like a good play.
Right. So, unless he decides to play spells, which he could just try to Flamewaker it. Okay, so he actually sacrificed his food, and he Ren Blackhanded us.
The destroyer of dragons himself.
We've got a cure for this Ren Blackhand thing now.
Yes, and it's called Flame Strike.
I'm not super worried about this Ren Blackhand guy. It just doesn't bother me. It's just...
No, I'm... As Ragnaros would say, by fire be purged.
Yeah, that board is extra crispy.
Well, thank you, Uther. I never thought I'd see you throwing down the...
Oh, no. Well, so... I'm trying to think what I would want him to get. Okay, well, his magic is probably going to tear us apart, but we're going to go ahead and just tear this Nefarian apart.
Yep.
Get out! Nobody
here.
invited you Nefarian. I played one already. We're done with Nefarian. Get out. So, that's also a really satisfying animation, by the way.
It really is.
Like
he
Ren
just,
Blackhand
crumbles.
he like jumps down off the balcony and just... It's I always go back to the to obviously the Warcraft fight where he's like up on the balcony. So yeah, Frostbolt. Unfortunately, Ren is pretty vulnerable to Mage shenanigans.
It is, but he did take out that Nefarian with a little issue.
So yeah, as much as I want to play Deathwing forever. Obviously, dropping all the cards right now, not super great. So I think what we can do here is, actually, we have a couple of different options. I don't think we want to Alder Peacekeeper this. Maybe we want to. I'm not sure. Volcanic Drake, if we put down the Alder Peacekeeper, is pretty strong. Although we're not really... You don't feel good about paying 6 for Volcanic Drake.
Yeah, you kind of want to get more value out of it, right? But we've got really nothing we can kill on the board unless we use Equality, and that just seems like a waste.
I think what we're going to do here is we're gonna Hungry Dragon. We'll see if Hungry Dragon betrays us again.
I can fix anything.
Okay, Hungry Dragon.
All right.
All right.
That's fine. I don't think there's any mechs in this deck.
No, hopefully not. And then...
I can tell the Sludge Belcher to follow the rules.
You know what we could do? We could muster for battle. And then, no. I was thinking, we don't have 7 mana, so we could have echo-redeemed all the
a hand of dudes.
Yeah, so we will just go ahead. We're going to try to start building up the board here.
We're giving stuff to actually like take out, because our dudes are kind of, well, they're kind of cannon fodder.
Yeah, they kind of are since we don't have a quartermaster. They're never graduating to be that horrifying force of 3/3s that we often see on the ladder now. So
Like they're actually kind of sacrificial.
he's-
That's my spell.
that's
That's
not.
actually, that's ours.
That's okay. I got some ideas about what we're gonna do about that.
I think we told him to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to actually follow the rules.
We actually, he responded so poorly to following the rules that he turned to a life of stealing our spells, which is not great. So let's see. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and just trade. So basically, if we put down the Defender of Argus here, we can go ahead and just trade into that, and then the slime that's left behind, the Silverhand Recruit can actually take out, since it'll be a 2/2. So we just gotta figure out the rest of our turn now. Do we want to? I think before this happens, we want to Echo of Medivh. And get another Follow the Rules. Although, let's see how many cards we have. We have a lot of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think instead it's probably going to be a cheap Volcanic Drake turn.
That seems pretty good. How many minions are we actually going to be killing? Are we going to?
We're going to be losing 3, so it's going to be a 3-mana Volcanic Drake. Okay, we'll go and do this. Get out of here, Sledge Belt. You're a thief. You stole our spells. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a 3-mana Volcanic Drake.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead.
You could just muster. Why don't you muster? You can get that
Thing is,
Light's
this
Justice
is-
and take out that Cogman.
Yeah. The other thing is, this is already a really good Flame Strike turn, so this is a little bit greedy, but since we have Deathwing, there's a part of me that kind of just wants to get the card out of our hands anyway, so that we can just play Deathwing and not feel bad about it. Like, well, we only had one option, it was Deathwing. So.
And we kind of really don't want to Echo Medivh, like, all of these dudes into our hands.
Oh,
okay,
no.
so there's the Flame Strike.
Magic will prevail.
So he said hello. He wants to greet us. Oh, hello. Well met. Alright, so Guardian of Kings is actually a really good draw here.
Absolutely.
So pretty, we don't want to play Deathwing, especially we have Echo of Medivh and Deathwing actually represent 2 totally different lines of play, unfortunately. So we'll just go ahead and get him with Light's Justice.
Right to the dome.
Right to the dome. So he's still in a good spot in terms of health. We have our panic button ready, and we've already seen Ren. So if he's actually not running Big Game Hunter, if he isn't, we're going to be okay. So let's see. Probably ping the Guardian of Kings. Okay. So what we're going to do here is
Now this is going to become increasingly dangerous.
right. So what we're going to do here, I've got an idea. So we alter Peacekeeper this, and then we Echo of Medivh to get another Guardian of Kings and another Follow the Rules.
That seems incredibly solid.
That is a very value-oriented play. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this.
I'm still a little scared because we've only seen one of our cards come out of his hand, right? The Blessing
Yeah,
of
so
Kings?
he's still got another one. Really quickly now, my question to you is, how badly do you want to put another Silverhand Recruit in our hand with Echo of Medivh?
Yes, do it.
Okay. We definitely need that. And then we'll just put another one down.
Sure.
Why not?
But it's just fodder for like our dragons and Solemn Vigil as well.
And Flame Strike. More importantly, it's
Fodder
fodder
for
for Flame
Flame
Strike. Flame Strike is probably not going to deal with this very kindly. So, let's see.
Unless he's got the.
Flame Waker, no!
What's our concentration?
Justice demands you get the call back. See what happens here. Okay, and wow, so
And just a full clear. That is efficiency.
that guy's stolen spell was crazy. I can't handle stolen consecration too well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and heal up here. Not super worried. I think we can actually play down the shielded mini-bot. Maybe it'll soak up one of the Flamewaker hits if he casts more spells.
Yeah.
We've actually got a card advantage over him at the moment, and I'll go ahead and hold on to this just in case there's a scenario where we need to do 1 damage.
Are you calling a Silverhand Recruit card advantage?
Reporting for duty.
I mean, I know he's people, but come on. Yes. Sorry, Silverhand Recruit, we love you. You're a person. There's totally not.
You're a valuable asset to our play right now.
Oh, this is gonna be a consecrate turn, isn't
Are we
it?
going to?
Or no,
No,
Flame Strike.
No.
Please don't have a second
Those
consecrate.
are our spells. He's out of our spells. He's both the consecrate and the Blessing of Kings.
This is true. Flame Cannon. So he's going through a lot of spells right now, but it's still. Ooh. Okay. Oh. I think.
That's good. So I
Well-
mean, we can probably just get rid of the Light's Justice at this point.
Well, so again, we have a couple different options here because we could just Lights of Justice and put the robot into the Flame Waker, and that gets rid of that.
I think the board froze.
Yeah, it'll
But
force
he
him to
is
use
gonna-
2 mana.
Yeah, and he is going to ping it next turn.
It'll give him something else to ping, and we can put down a Silverhand Recruit, and that Silverhand Recruit will live. We were just talking about, you know, treating our Silverhand recruits better. Now we're Silverhand recruit. We put out something more tasty. Right. So again, we've still got Deathwing. We've got we've actually got a couple of panic buttons.
We do.
Everything in our hand is actually pretty super reactive.
Although I would be scared of putting out that Deathwing with 5 cards in his hand.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Polymorph or Big Game Hunter. So we have seen Rend. We know he's not going to Rend us. That's good at least. But I would assume he's also kind of getting in a situation we're in, where you know a lot of our cards are based on like what our opponent is doing. So maybe he doesn't have like a super strong just throw something on the board play.
It's true.
If he's playing the deck he was playing earlier, we know he has Foe Reaper. We know he has Alexstrasza. Killbot. Okay. So he's starting to feel like no, it is.
I mean, he's probably trying to just get us down to the point where you know he's using Alexstrasza and then maybe just burning us out.
Right. That could work here. I think this is probably a duplicate.
For justice.
Just go ahead and test for it now.
It's a duplicate.
Have all the
It's
hugs.
a duplicate.
Have all the hugs. Well, now we know.
But now we are absolutely
I mean,
sure.
we could not have been sure
This is
until
a
we did it.
duplicate.
Yeah, it's okay. You have as many program hugs as he wants. I got all day.
So he's going to have so much life now that we just need to burn it. Like, but what are we going to use to lose life?
We're gonna find out in these last 10 cards. I want to say I have a plan. Don't. Don't really. Blackwing Corruptor. That is not what I want. So he doesn't have a dragon.
No dragons. Makes me feel a little bit better.
Ooh.
Dragon Consort. We actually don't want to play Deathwing right now. Like,
no. So I think problem is one of these cards is probably a Flame Strike. Feels like it's a Flame Strike.
you think he runs 2?
I think he does.
I wonder.
He'd be sneaky like
Dean's
that.
sneaky like that, so what we'll probably do is just tell this Blackwing Corruptor, just follow the rules for now, just hang out.
Reporting for duty.
And I don't necessarily want to play the Dragon Consort into what I feel is an inevitable Flame Strike. And since we don't really have a good Dragon play to follow it up, that
Just gonna hold
said,
on to it?
we have Chromagus in here somewhere. So
That
if we
is
play
true.
this down, we could have a cheap Chromagus next turn. What do you
That is
think?
true.
What do you think, Christina? Do we play the Dragon Consort or no?
You know what? You may as well play it now because we can hold on to that value for the cheaper dragons for
Right.
a while. And if
Or-
we get Chromagus, that's great. We just need to start pulling these power cards. We need
I
we
have
need board
no
presence
time
and a
for
way to
games.
use it. Like
Sylvanas. That's not what I wanted at all. That's
we
the
know at least
opposite of what I wanted.
two of the cards in hand are anti-killbots.
All right, so Panic Drake. So this Sylvanas is a real problem.
Well, we can just clear board and not really worry about it. I mean, our Elder Peacekeeper will go over to the dark side.
Last warning.
Well, so we could do is just put this into the Sylvanas and then this as well, and he just have the 1/3, and then we can also just get a super cheap Volcanic Drake.
Last warning.
It doesn't seem like value. But
It
then-
doesn't, but I don't really want him having the 3 attack if I put down the Volcanic Drake.
Absolutely.
So
I think that's probably the best play.
Elder
for us.
Peacekeeper is just probably going to go to the dark side. Bye, bye everybody. Later. Now, what we could do here. I'm just throwing that out there.
But do you want to get rid of just
I mean,
two Consecrates?
it's not that I want to so much as I want a Deathwing. Like
Because if we get Chromagus, we can't just now start drawing infinite Consecrates.
right, but it's the constant battle to not play Deathwing. Every time Deathwing is there and I see green, I'm like, Deathwing,
Deathwing.
Deathwing. I mean, look at him. He's so friendly.
Yeah,
This guy's like, hey,
smiling.
hey guys, I want to help.
You're like, I don't think that's the
I'm
face
not
of
gonna
helping.
I'm not gonna get rid of your hand at all. Oh gosh, he kidnapped our Drake.
No.
Please don't kidnap our Drake. Well, that was rude. And unfortunately,
Unstable portal.
yeah, unfortunately, okay. I think we're actually just gonna pay the 5 mana for Solemn
Yeah,
Vigil.
straight up.
Yeah. Blackwing Corruptor is super good here, so
Yeah,
this
just take out that
Look at
kidnap.
that, perfectly planned.
Not quite.
well met. So yeah, he's got a very tiny Blackwing Corruptor now. We've got a big one. So
But he's still holding on to those 2 antique healbots.
we got okay, that's good.
So he is running Polymorph.
I would rather see the Polymorph on this than Deathwing.
That would.
Deathwing like, "Arrgh, I'm a sheep. Don't want to be a sheep, but I am. So it doesn't have a dragon in hand, which, you know, doesn't really tell us a whole lot actually in this scenario.
Just
Do we
kinda
want to
makes me
double
feel better.
consecrate? Yeah, it's good to
Do
know.
we want to double consecrate?
I don't think we do.
Ooze.
No.
But there's just not enough threats really to even warrant an equality consecrate either.
No.
So
I
maybe
think
we're
what
paying
we-
Volcanic Drake for full cost.
I think we put down the Volcanic Drake and the Muster for battle and see if we bait out the Flame Strike.
He only has so many flame strikes.
I'm
He
gonna
should
laugh when
only
he's
have
not
one.
running one. Yeah, he's gonna. I'm only running one. I'm like, no.
All right, so let's put out the dudes.
Really unleash the dudes.
For
All right, and we're at this point. So he's either going to do something with a Flame Strike to clear the board, or he's gonna start throwing down like big minions, and then we can go into that equality consecration and feel good about it. Because that doesn't feel good to equality consecrate.
Yeah, this feels good to flame strike. And
So he's gonna ping into the Drake, I think. I really thought he would try. Okay, so he's just gonna do this. This is also fine. Blackwing Corruptor, thanks Deathwing. Deathwing is perpetually sitting in our hand and making our cards better.
Yeah.
What a
yeah.
good guy, Deathwing.
But he knows that we've been holding on to a dragon for a very, very long time, because everything that we've played that summons a dragon or has synergy with a dragon has gone off.
Yeah, he's probably
So
aware
he's
of this.
probably holding on to something, which is, I'm feeling it's probably a big game hunter.
Probably. So, what we're gonna do here is
Take out that ENT kill bot.
take out his anti-kill bot. We're gonna do one consecrate.
Okay.
We're gonna ping with the lights down.
Lights Justice. Okay.
Okay,
To
so
the base. All right.
this is a pressure turn. We have finally
it.
said enough messing around,
And he's gonna play the next ENT kill bot.
or the next Flame Strike.
At
I'm
least
so
We've run the
paranoid.
gamut of duplicates.
I'm just gonna let. Okay, so this is a mirror entity. Unless it isn't.
Not.
Unless it isn't. Okay. Okay. Okay, so
True Silver.
yeah, we're gonna actually just choose
We
those.
can't get another duplicate because he's already used two.
So I think it's just mirror entity. I don't think we're gonna play the game. I just think we're just gonna start beating him in the face with these dragons and dragon minions.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and just he's gonna have to answer. And we're not even gonna give him the shielded mini bot right now. No. Let's give him the Deathwing.
No, let's not.
Wow,
give
that's
him
a
the-
great idea.
No.
What?
He's like, I know you're holding on to that dragon.
There we go.
so-
There's the flame strike. I told you it was there. I wasn't crazy. Who's no?
You are crazy.
A little bit.
I'm almost
But
out of cards.
We're on a
Chromagus?
set of cards. So
oh, Vigil not great.
So we have one card left in our deck, and it's Chromagus.
Ooh, yeah, that's not great.
That's actually the opposite of where you want Chromagus.
So we're gonna put down Shielded Minibot, knowing he's gonna get to keep it. What? I don't understand what's going on right now.
It's ice block.
That's not good. So this is gonna be great. Chromagus is going to draw us exactly no cards.
Zero, absolutely zero cards.
Chromagus, no. No, this is not great. This is not a great situation for us to be in.
But he
Non-major.
major
Domo. Oh, this was a legendary that.
that's over. We actually haven't seen this card yet.
Yeah. So fun fact: when he dies, he becomes Ragnaros the Fire Lord.
So 9/7 for 9, and when he dies, becomes Ragnaros the Fire Lord. And well, what is better than playing Ragnaros the Fire Lord?
Being Ragnaros, obviously, yes. Okay, so if this is a counterspell, I'm gonna be pretty sad.
Yeah.
But
There's really no other words for that besides yeah.
the idea here is we want to try to get him off the board and turn him into Ragnaros.
Yes.
So that we can kill him, because 8 health is we can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
That is
Quality.
possible. Unless it's an ice blocked Ragnaros the Fire Lord.
Oh,
which
no.
Seems not good.
So Jaina quite logically became Ragnaros the Fire Lord. So you can see Die Insect is the hero power.
Yep.
Two mana.
2 mana.
Deals 8 random damage, or deals 8 damage to a random enemy. So it's a lot like the normal Ragnaros power, but you know.
But just you can use it.
Let me.
Do more Ragnaros stuff?
Oh, Magus, you just absolutely no value.
I mean, listen, we can still follow. I burned most of my cards. So
Now, come on,
Ragnaros
you
looks so
gotta- you
cute in his
gotta
portrait.
emote. He's like, let me take a selfie. Look at him, he's like,
By fire be purged, you will perish in flames. Oh, come on. I think he's had like 3 of these now. Why does he have so many? Illidan's
you can't.
got the Betrayer.
Yeah.
It's not great. I'll be honest, not super excited about this.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh, the face.
Ooh.
I know, this is gonna make me very sad because this is probably an ice block.
It's
And
an ice block.
we are straight up in fatigue right now.
It's okay. Yep. I actually don't care. It's Deathwing.
It's Deathwing. So he has 2 cards in his hand?
One's a polymorph, we lose.
Do it.
We did that wrong. Holy crap. You know, if we would have put this in, so even if this was an ice block, we have messed up. I have failed you, Christina.
I'm disappointed.
Sorry. Yeah, well,
Women.
well, no,
Don't
because,
give him another secret. No. Oh, well, he's going to get it anyway.
well, the point is we don't want him to get another kill.
I've burned all of my cards. What out of these 3 cards is going to take out our Deathwing? And that answer is a polymorph.
Sorry!
Retribution.
Yeah, that'll pretty much. Oh, we still got a chance.
Oh!
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Nope.
He's back at 8.
So yeah, this is gonna be it.
And that's
With
the
the
end of
fatigue.
With Ragnaros. What a good play.
Well, just like in the classic war when Ragnaros killed Uther, this hasn't happened, all those years ago.
I don't think that's how that happened.
I think we're reading different books.
All right, so
Okay.
let's go to the collection manager and let's take a look at the cards that we have not revealed yet, because we have a few more minutes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and look over the. So this is for Druid now. First card is Druid of the Flame, which is a 3-mana 2/2, but you can choose one and transform it into either a 5/2 or a 2/5.
And the 5/2 and the 2/5 are both beasts as well.
Right.
One is a fire cat and one is a fire hawk.
Fire Cat. Yeah, Fire Cat.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I like that. So that is Druid of the Flame. Now keep in mind, all of these are going to be added shortly after the stream, so you will be able to peruse them.
Well, they'll be
your own
added on
time.
Facebook, so you guys
Right.
can take a look at them, and you don't have to, do screenshots and everything. So we'll
Right.
put them up on Facebook right after this.
Okay, so the next one is Volcanic Lumberer, which is a 9-mana 7/8. It is a taunt, and like Volcanic Drake and Solemn Vigil, it costs 1 less per minion that died that turn.
So, I mean, if you get a value swipe,
Right?
and you're taking out a ton of minions.
Yeah, even if you just do basic trades or something, there's very much room to make this cost like 5 mana or even 6, and 5 or 6 mana for a 7/8 with taunt is pretty big. So, okay, and then we'll go ahead and go on over to Hunter. So the second Hunter card for BRM is Quick Shot, which is 3 damage for 2 mana, and if your hand is empty, you draw a card.
So it's got kind of a similar ability to the Core Rager, where if your hand is empty, do X. And that's pretty cool, but if you've burned all your hand, you just got to get a little damage in,
Right.
get a little bit of card advantage back. Quick Shot.
Yeah, and it plays very much like a Dark Bomb that has an upside.
Yeah.
So, yep. Let's keep going to Mage. We've seen Boltha. We've seen Paladin. All right, Priest. So Priest has the extremely adorable and totally deadly Twilight Whelp, which is a 1-mana 2/1 dragon that if you're holding dragon, it gains 2 health and becomes a 2/3. So it's basically a zombie chow with no drawback if you're running a dragon. And obviously if you're running Twilight Whelp, you're probably playing a dragon deck. So very, very strong opening card, and like I said, adorable.
Yeah, Dragon Priest. I could see that being pretty cool.
Right, and I mean, there's an argument to be made with Twilight Whelp and Fairy Dragon that the early dragons are the cutest. Fairy Dragon and Twilight Whelp. So now we'll go to Resurrect, which is the other Priest card for Blackrock Mountain. So Resurrect summons a random friendly minion that died this game. So obviously, to really maximize on Resurrect, you want to make sure that the minions you've been running are pretty high value. So stuff like maybe Dark Cultist. I'm trying to think of cards that are being run right now in like most of the Priest builds. So like Dark Cultist, Sledge Belcher, your stuff like Ragnaros kind of deal, all those kind of big cards where you just get one back. Resurrect is a really fun spell. It produces some very hilarious scenarios.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so next we'll go into here, which is Gang Up. Gang Up is the rogue spell. It is 2 mana, and you actually get 3 copies of it or 3 copies of a minion into your deck. So where I personally found this card the most fun was playing like SI7 agent. I actually ganged up and got a bunch of SI7 agents and then played them all on the same turn. So
Dean wants to play another game.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we have time for that.
do we have time for another game? No, I don't think we do, unfortunately. So we'll keep going here.
You know what? Let's play another game.
Okay.
Come on. Justice demands another game.
Okay, were we gonna do the Shaman one or the Paladin one?
We played Shaman. Let's play Shaman again.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, and then
we'll show off the other 2 cards.
Okay. All right, Dean, you ready? Ready to lose this time? Okay.
Shaman. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
You guys are having a lot of fun. We're showing off cards. We gotta kind of like pepper it in there, but yeah. Thank you guys for
A
joining
priest.
us too.
Priest. So we may actually get to see some of these new
Are we
priest
gonna
cards.
see Dragon Priest? You think?
I'm thinking this will probably be Dragon Priest. Okay, so Malagos not super great in the opener.
No.
The Zerdrake can also probably go away.
Earth Elemental's probably a little too much right now. And
I want to
too
keep
risky.
it.
We don't have Lava Shock.
Oh, but it's Earth Elemental. Look how big he is. He works out. Like, what do you think he benches? Jeez.
I mean,
a lot.
yeah.
Okay, Mana Titan I'm actually going to keep because there's a good chance the priest just won't have an answer for it early on, and we just start drawing a ton of cards.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if we get some good early minions. Come back to me,
Our
Earth
second
Elemental.
Earth Elemental.
Second Earth Elemental, come to me. So we don't actually have a dragon for Blackwing Corruptor, unfortunately. Yeah, we have a pretty mundane turn one. I'll give him a polite greeting, see if this game plays
Hello.
a little less chippy than the other one. Yeah. Tensions are. Oh, he's. Oh no, that healed me.
That's
He probably thinks that does 2 damage. That actually heals me.
yeah. The light shall soothe you.
The light shall calm you down. So we'll go ahead and we could have coined into the Mana Tide Totem there, but I think considering the way our hand looks, we just want to keep it.
Yeah, we've
for
got
later.
a lot of like kind of mid-late game stuff, so
Right.
it's probably going to give us more value a little bit later on.
Okay, so we're actually going to coin
Ooh.
into the Fire Guard Destroyer.
That is a solid
Because
play.
we need to have something big on the board to deal with this Technician.
Yep.
Trying to put tech support on the board, I don't want it. I'm gonna play
So let's see. All right, we're rolling the dice. Come on.
Oh!
Perfect.
Okay, that's huge.
I mean,
That's, as some would say, that's a huge Fire Guard Destroyer. Huge. Oh.
oh,
He Shadow or died. He Shadow or died.
that's fine. It gets one of those out of the way for now.
Right. Okay, so basically here we have the choice of try to go for our famous spell power.
We're not. No, I don't.
Well,
luck
the only
not
other
in our
option is to
favor.
play Mana Tide Totem, which Mana Tide Totem at this point is gain 3 health and draw a card, because he's gonna kill it. Christina, are you not brave? Are you being not brave right now?
Do it.
All right, spell power totem. Ah! Why? Why? It was. Look, we were due a spell power totem. Okay, it was.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so Dragonkin Sorcerer gains a +1/+1 whenever he is the target of the spell.
And he is very busily targeting him with a Power Word Shield.
Ooh.
Ah, Thorson.
Yeah. So I think no joke, the play here is Earth Elemental and hope he doesn't have the Shadow or Death, because we are otherwise pretty behind.
Yeah, if he has both of those in his opening hand, and he may have tried to mulligan for it because he knows this deck has a lot of.
Are we doing it? Do we believe in Earth Elemental?
Oh, you know, my faith is a little shattered
Yeah, we
here.
had a rough game with the
Yeah,
with the
'cause
rolls.
we've never been lucky this game.
Literally never been lucky.
All right, go ahead and play it.
Earth Elemental, hold the line, hold.
And maybe we get the clutch Lava Shock.
Maybe.
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 I wouldn't
A
bank
lot of
on
things
it.
could happen, Christina. A lot of things could happen. Let's not really base our happiness on getting the Lava Shock.
I put my faith in the light.
Put your faith in the Lava Shock. Please don't have the Shadow or Death. Dean, no. No.
No.
No.
Don't do it.
Dean. Oh my
Valerie
goodness.
chose- that
Oh
is
no.
Such a big dragon.
Oh no. This.
Oh.
Oh.
Why?
I don't feel good about this.
No.
No.
I feel a little frightened, actually.
Oh no, this thing is getting so big. He's building like his ultimate dragon. Lightning Storm literally not doing anything.
Not helping us out here.
Okay, so
And we are so overloaded.
this is pretty big. He's a legendary, right? Ren? No, we don't have a Ren anyway.
Not legendary, not yet.
Okay.
Well, it's
Every play we make, by the way, right now is terrible. So I think what we want to do
It is definitely not
roll for
ideal.
spell power totem.
Oh my gosh. Do it.
Spell power totem.
Haunt totem. We've got every totem except spell power totem, so I need you to shout out the name of any
Okay.
other totem before we click our hero power.
Okay. For the record,
Searing totem. Yes.
obviously this is a bad spot to be in. We're not running Hex. This thing is
We
just
are not.
huge. We don't have Big Game Hunter either, so you know, maybe this dragon is super huge and it hurts a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
That is actually what is happening.
That is exactly what is happening. So Okay, he's
So-
not running a dragon in his hand.
That's good, but he does have the colossal king of dragons
Yeah.
right now on the board.
Oh, okay, Earth Elemental, not really.
not really what we need right now. And even like between the Blackwing,
Corruptor.
and the Lightning Bolt, we still only have 6 damage. Unless we roll a spell power totem. But even then, we don't have enough mana to Lightning Bolt at the end.
Yeah, I don't even want to play that game anymore. I don't trust these.
All right, so you're gonna play the Hungry Dragon game instead. I saw you looking at it.
No, what are you talking about? We could play Emperor Tharson, which is one of those things where we just start hoping that, like, you know, this will be 2 mana, this will be free. We'll have a bunch of cheap spells to
But
follow
we're only
up.
gonna get 1 turn of value out of Thorson.
Well, I don't really honestly see a very good play. I see
other
what you're
plays do we
saying.
have?
Yeah. Next turn, also keep in mind we can Drake into Lightning Storm, so we can get rid of a lot of stuff and then lose to this thing. But that's a play, right?
Are we gonna hide behind another Earth Element? So you can play Thorson. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really trust Earth Elemental at this point.
The hammer comes down.
Yeah, so, you know, we got a bunch of cheap spells now. Nice.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah,
I like
so-
the free Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, free Lightning Bolt is good. If we got a Lava Shock, you know, we'd be in business.
Yeah, I'd be in a good spot.
Probably not, actually. We'd probably still lose to this giant dragon. Temper your expectations.
I'm trying to think positive.
I don't think the power of positive thinking is going to get us
I mean,
out of
yeah,
this
you
one.
know, it's been working for us for the spell power totem, so.
Come on, just give us a spell power totem. You had one job.
The elements are not guiding us.
Totemic Call? What did I ever do to you?
Hello, this is
Hello.
Totem. Oh, wrong number?
Is this spell power? Oh, no, look, now the wrong number. I got Searing Totem again.
Like, you gotta stop picking up.
Could you please give me the number to spell power totem? All right, so he's just gonna...
Thorson, we knew you well. And there's no dragon.
There
Except
is-
for that dragon. That one
I
right
actually don't even know.
We don't have a silence, I don't think, in this deck. No Earth Shock.
You know, I'm just gonna point out Dean knows these decks, and Dean was super excited to play another game.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sure he was.
oh, I'm sure Dean was.
All right, so
Idea,
Nefarian.
Nefarian, and then we hope for a Shadow or Death. That's the play, right? RNG has failed us so far. Clearly, it'll be with us now.
Play it.
Nefarian, you can do it. Shadow or Death? Well, probably not.
Are we overdrawing? Shadow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We're-
Okay, so we gotta
You gotta use that light.
get him in the face. What? He's gonna heal this.
Okay.
Defiant.
Or the 13 health.
Okay, so if he
King of all
doesn't kill us,
dragons
if he doesn't kill us, we can go Shadow form. We can have a hero power that'll finally listen to us. Do we even know it? I've never seen Shadow
a
form.
shadowy thrall?
No. Dean, don't kill us. I want to see.
We have to see this.
We just make shadowy totems.
Well, I mean, maybe we can get the Azure Drake down and start throwing out spells. And
Do you see that
13
number?
I mean, that's
Do you see
13.
that number?
I mean, he's gonna have to trade both of these unless he's got
The
that.
spirits
Oh,
be restless.
that is also not good. Again. Oh, and bringing it back with
Wow.
Resurrect.
I'm 15. Why? Who hurt you? Okay.
Oh my goodness. So,
Okay, so if we just start, like, if we put down a Zerdray,
and we just start throwing out.
all 2 of our spells.
All-
No, sorry, we have this.
we have Shadow Form too.
Okay. That's
Azure Drake.
into what? We die.
Into light.
We're shadow forming. Shadowy thrall.
Oh my gosh, it seems dead. Holy Smite.
Yep, got him.
Get him.
19 lethal.
Nailed it.
Storm.
Greetings. He looks like, I mean,
Greetings from the Nether.
like he's actually in the dark side right now. Like, this is dark side thrall. Let's
You don't have any dragons. Oh, he does have a dragon now. Well,
okay. Hopefully Dean is finished punishing us now. This is why you never challenge the Hearthstone game balance designers.
hey, we won one.
We did.
Nailed it.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna finish showing off the last 2 class cards.
Yes. What did we leave off on?
We left off on Warlock.
All right.
So, second Warlock card, obviously Imp Gang Boss,
Yeah, so
we know about.
we've seen that.
Demon
Demon
Wrath.
Wrath.
Did you ever want Hellfire, but you wanted it to cost 1 less and not hurt your demons because you're running a demon lock deck?
Like, amazing.
Demon Wrath.
There it is.
So yeah, obviously if you're running a Demon Lock deck, like, you know, sometimes being a Flame Imp's not easy, because you just come out there and then your master just like burns you off the board. And
Yeah,
you're like,
I mean, because he's only got 2 health.
right. So this will leave poor Flame Imp alone. Flame Imp will be, you know, unscathed. But it will get all those other non-demons off your board, or do 2 damage to him anyway. It also doesn't do 3 damage to you, which actually can factor in a lot of the times when you're playing as a Warlock. So Demon Wrath, that's the spell right there. And we'll go to Warrior. They have obviously Axe Flinger and then Revenge. So Revenge, 2 mana, and like Whirlwind, does 1 damage to all minions. However, if you have 12 or less health, it does 3 instead. The art's very fitting.
Great, because he looks very angry.
Yeah, sometimes you just get so mad, you want to do a lot more damage.
Yes, to all minions.
Right.
So your minions,
Yep.
which would count for Grim Patrons, but unless you're at 12 or less health, because then you don't want to kill all your Grim Patrons.
Right, so Revenge, to me, is a super exciting card, because much like Mortal Strike, Warriors obviously have the ability to go low in health and then armor up to get kind of like replacement health that doesn't technically count as health. So if you're playing like a very weapon-heavy deck or something to where you're just like constantly damaging yourself, you can get to that 12 or less health threshold and then just begin armoring up. And then you can still have like the boosted Revenge, you can still have boosted Mortal Strike. I'm very excited to see what the community does with these cards, because I think there's a lot of room for like great deck builders
Absolutely.
to get really interesting with it. But yeah, so that is actually all the cards for BRM.
You got the neutrals too?
Yep, we
I think we got
Major
all
Domo.
of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all going to be added to our Facebook gallery, so you will be able to see them very shortly after the stream. And I think we're good.
I think we're done. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Remember, Blackrock Mountain comes out on April 2nd. And don't forget to pre-order so you can get your Molten Core card back. And also, if you were looking at the stream, we were playing with the Heroic BRM card back, which is the Nefarian card back. So if you're completing all of Blackrock Mountain on Heroic, that is also waiting for you as well. But don't forget the pre-order period. It ends when Blackrock Mountain comes out, so pre-order now and get that Molten Core card back for your collection.
Yep.
But thank you again. I am Community Manager Zaria,
And I am Worthen.
and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.